First introduced in 1938 during the Great Depression, the federal minimum wage was set at 25 cents per hour and has been since increased by Congress 22 times. While there is a near consensus that a federal minimum wage should exist, there are debates within and across states about whether or not the federal minimum wage should be raised. Under the Fair Labor Standards Act, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 per hour as of July 24, 2009. However, most minimum wage workers will earn wages that vary from the federal minimum wage. States such as Massachusetts and California have $10 state minimum wages, while other states such as North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Texas have a $7.25 state minimum wage. Currently, only two states, Georgia and Wyoming, are both below the federal minimum wage at $5.15. In these two states, the federal minimum wage prevails over the state set wage, and workers are paid at least $7.25 hourly. Upon the introduction of the National Industrial Recovery Act in 1935, President FDR established the 25-cent minimum wage as a, quote, living standard. Currently in the U.S., there exists an argument to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 by both minimum wage workers and unaffiliated parties.
The other day, this little nitwit kid had the nerve to knock over the tip bin and forced me to clean it up on the ground. Guess what? Through 6 hours of work, there was only $3.30 tip in the tip bin. $3.30! I work like 40 hours a week, and the customers at the store don't even appreciate me enough to tip me more than $3.30. What a life. I hate my job, I hate my boss, I hate this hat, but a raise would help.
At the current rate of $7.25 per hour, a person working 40 hours for 52 weeks of the year would yield an annual salary of $15,080 before taxes. As a single-person household, the salary of $15,000 would be $3,030 above the poverty line. And if it were a two-person household, the income would be $850 below the poverty line. If the federal minimum wage is increased from $7.25 per hour to $15 per hour, the annual income of an employee working 40 hours weekly for 52 weeks would increase to $31,000. This amounts to a 206% increase. Although a $15 hourly federal minimum wage would be a great improvement for minimum wage workers, many believe that the fight for $15 per hour is completely impractical. If workers continue down this road, companies will have no choice but to cut costs and opt for the cheaper option, which will result in job loss for many minimum wage workers. Workers in the industry are fighting for a losing battle, as companies will always look for the profit-maximizing option. With a $15 minimum wage, companies will be less inclined to pay for somebody who can be replaced by machines or another option.
I do not want raised federal minimum wage. My many workers would be laid off. At the Sumitomo Tire, we utilize up-to-date technology, and under the condition of a risen minimum wage, we would be forced to opt for more affordable options to complete minimum wage tasks. At the Sumitomo Tire, we get many complaints about the grip and traction of our synthetic rubber compound. Customer service is hindered by real-life workers but will be replaced with an automated answering system if I am to pay my workers more money. I love my workers more than anything else, but when the economy changes, I am forced to make decisions within the company that will inevitably change the well-being of many workers for the worse.
Those who are paid $15 per hour now will see that people with less qualifications than them are being paid the same amount of money for a much easier job. This will likely result in many workers quitting their jobs out of protest and finding work in equally paying minimum wage jobs due to lower opportunity costs. Under the circumstance that the federal minimum wage is raised, demand for normal goods would increase while inferior goods would see a decrease in demand. Minimum wage workers earning an increased fixed wage will see their salary increase as a sign of economic prestige, resulting in them purchasing more normal goods and less inferior goods. Overall, the U.S. should increase the federal minimum wage to $10 so that families with two or more will have an income that at least surpasses the poverty level. The problem with companies unwilling to keep all of their employees with a wage increase will remain, and may result in automation replacement, taking a $15 wage out of the question. Anything above $10 per hour should be decided on as a state-to-state basis, as individual state economies vary greatly in expenses such as property taxes.